Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Web Conference on Social Work and Sciences, Shared Future for Transformative Change, Harmonious Coexistence, Nature, Environment, Indigenous Wisdom, Diversity, Inclusion, and Sustainable Development 2024, and World Social Work Day and Week Celebrations 2024. And also commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, and also United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, Curate Foundation, GFSRD, EQ for Peace, USA, and international and national fraternity across the world, which is being organized for 1 week starting from 19th March till 26th March 2024, every day 6 p.m. onwards. So we welcome you all once again to the international conference. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. So before we start our sessions, we have been updated with the details, and we are also scheduling sessions, and we have updated few presentations as per the schedule. Based on the availability and feasibility and as per the request of presenters. So we have tried to accommodate the presenters on the same day, and wherever it was not possible. Now there are various other, because we have received a tremendous response for this conference, and we have more than 150 presentations registered in the conference, but unfortunately many are not proactive. It seems like you have filled the forms but not responding, or not even proactive in following up for your presentations. We see a lot of presentation schedule are requested on 19th as well as 20th, but many of those who have requested haven't turned up. So we cannot provide because there is a huge response. And you can also see, maybe mostly by tomorrow evening, we will be updating all the scheduled as well as unscheduled presentations. So it will be a very hectic schedule. So we request everyone to utilize the time. Already 2 days we lost in the conference. So we have another 6 days left, and there are new registrations also happening. So we request those who have already registered for the conference for presentations, do not wait till we call you, or do not wait for us for our confirmations, as this is very short notice. We have already informed that those who are willing to present can choose their date and time, and based on that, if there is availability, we'll be listing out. Otherwise, all the presenters are requested to join at 6 p.m. and we'll also call all the names for the scheduled presentations. And after that, so once whether they have presented or whether they are not available, after that immediately whoever is yet to present and whoever whose presentations are not listed or scheduled can take your turn voluntarily by sharing your details like your topic, name, designation, organization, along with your contact details and duration in the chat box, so that we can invite you and you can also complete your presentations. So don't wait till last day. We will be not able to provide the opportunity on last days. 26th, we will not have any presentations by, that day is reserved for the invited speakers. So don't wait till last date. As early as possible, try to complete. Those who could not complete on 19th and 20th are requested to complete today or tomorrow as early as possible to try to complete your presentations. Don't think that you have to join at the same time, as this is an open platform and we have adopted a freestyle. We request everyone to be proactive so that you don't lose this opportunity. So with these instructions, we have already updated the schedule on the website, and still the process is happening. There are lot more presentations to be updated, but don't worry about the schedule and all those things. Be active on the platform, join at 6 o'clock and try to be till the end and try to gain as much as information possible. At the same time, if your presentation is due, whenever there is a time, whenever we call for the presentations, be active and share your details. Kindly follow the instructions so that we can save our time. And let's move on to the presentations for the day. And those who are already present in the conference meeting are requested to immediately share your topic so that we can invite you in the chat box. Your topic, name, designation, organization, and the place from which you are coming from, so that we can invite you. So while we are getting responses from our presenters, we have Dr. T. Sridhar, who is Chairperson, Board of Studies, Department of Social Work, Usmania University. will be addressing the gathering.
Participating in today's conference. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all and extending my wishes on the eve of the World Social Work Day. This year's theme, the Buen Vivir, very aptly summarizes the need for having a transformative change so that the future of this entire globe can be quite prosperous, peaceful, and we will head towards sustainable development. And I urge all the social workers, particularly the social work fraternity comprising of social work practitioners, students, and the other people who are engaged in various domains to effectively contribute for this transformative change. Unless this transformative change happens, I don't think we would be heading towards the achievement of sustainable development goals. I urge everyone on this auspicious, on this international day to take a pledge that they will contribute with their might for this noble cause. And I once again extend a warm wishes and wish that this conference would come out with a lot of deliberations which would help the social work fraternity and as such the world as a whole in heading towards this year's theme of Buen Vivir. Thank you.
So thank you, Professor Dr. Sridhar sir, for your valuable message and greetings on World Social Work Day and for this international conference. We'll move on to today's presentations. Thank you, Professor Dr. Sridhar sir, for your valuable message and greetings for the World Social Work Day celebrations and as well as the international conference. We'll be moving to the presentations. We will be sharing the schedule in the chat box. Kindly check the schedule. As per the schedule, if you are available, kindly share your details. And those who would like to present, make your presentations, who are not in schedule can also share their details so that we can complete the presentations. So we have with us the first presentation by Nidhi Kanso, Synergizing Sustainability Recycling Food Waste for Plant Fertilizer Production and Unveiling Ecological Dynamics. So Nidhi, you can briefly introduce yourself. Start your presentation. You can switch on your audio, video, and start your presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Nidhi Kansoria. I am from Bundelkhand University. I am a research scholar from a Department of Environmental Science.
Kindly switch on your video, ma, because you are first appearing on the first time. We need for record purpose also. We need to document. Nidhi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, switch on the video and start your PPT if you have a PPT. Do you have PPT presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, kindly start sharing.
Sir, I am unable to open the PPT.
This is the first time you are presenting online? No?
No, sir. Okay, sir, it's opening. Sir, it is not supporting. Sir, I've already shared you a PPT. Can you please open it?
From here, it is not possible because we have a lot of things managing from here. It will be difficult from our side. Can you try it from your laptop on any other device? Because you should inform us in advance, no? If there is any such arrangement. Any other presenters willing to present? Kindly share your details in chat box and be ready with your presentation. Kindly keep it open in your device so that immediately you can share. And for all the technical issues, kindly ensure that you are familiar with the Zoom and sharing. And always have a copy of your PPT in PDF format also, so that in case if you have any issue opening your PPT, you can use your PDF or you can also convert it into image format so that you can use images as well.
Sir, let me convert it into a PDF because it's not opening a PPT right.
Yeah, okay, you resolve it. We will
Yes,
see.
sir.
Any other presenters willing to present? Kindly check the schedule. Kindly check the schedule on the website. The link has been shared.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible. Please continue.
So my topic is based on food waste recycling, that is producing a compost from a food waste. And this research is based on reducing the food waste in the dumping process, as it produces more methane and harming our environment. And by some tests, we can analyze recycling efficiency, plant variation, soil composition, and water quality using statistical methods like t-test, ANOVA, regression analysis, cross tabulation, and correlation analysis. Our finding offers nuanced understanding of environmental dynamics, aiding policymakers and environmental scientists जो कि है ना that can benefit in future or needed comprehensive study not only enhance our knowledge of individual factors but also provide insight into their interconnectedness, facilitating informed decision making for ecological well-being. Transforming food waste into a plant fertilizer addresses waste management. Not only waste management and environmental sustainability challenges, while revolutionizing agriculture practices. With mounting environmental concerns, it's crucial to adopt multifaceted solutions. Food waste, a consequence of a modern living, has burdened landfills. It has already burdened our landfills and excavated climate, and it is increasing the climate changes through methane emission. Recycling food waste of recycling food waste. Yeah. Composting and anaerobic digestions break down organic matter, yielding nutrient-rich compost and biogas. This process not only mitigates waste but also enriches soil fertility, bridging waste management and sustainable agriculture. The economic societal impacts are sustainable, fostering employment and reducing production of costs for farmers. Technical aspect, innovation such as on-site composting and centralized facilities are instrumental in optimizing waste management practices. Monitoring systems and sensors are deployed to maintain optimal conditions during composting and digestion, thereby enhancing overall efficiency. And automation. Automation is leveraged to streamline the sorting and collection process, minimizing contamination and elevating the quality of recycled product. Technical intricacies of food waste recycling encompasses various stages, each requiring meticulous attention to detail to maximize its environmental benefits. Related works, various studies have explored innovative approaches to address food waste management and its impact on agriculture and the environment. Yakub investigated the generation of electricity from organic waste using a molecular fusion reactor, demonstrating the efficient utilization of household organic waste by energy producing bacteria. Delilah analyzed public opinions on plant-based diets for cancer prevention and management, highlighting the needs of credible information and supportive features in food applications. The Urgo discussed the dual nature of plant metabolites, emphasizing the importance of mitigating health risk while harnessing their therapeutic benefits through efficient food processing techniques. Siddiqui compared the efficiency of food waste derived liquid fertilizer with commercial liquid fertilizers in hydroponics systems, showcasing Food Lab's potential to support sustainable food production. And Pulaski evaluated the agronomics performance of food waste following anaerobic digestion and microbial treatment, underscoring its potential as a sustainable fertilizer under varying climatic conditions. These studies collectively emphasize the significance of recycling food waste to generate energy, promote healthy dietary habitat, mitigate health risk, enhance nutrient management, and supportive agriculture Sustainable agriculture through innovative technologies and comprehensive research. Recycling food waste emerges as a viable solution to address global waste management challenges while promoting environmental sustainability and food security. There is our summary of existing work which leads some gaps. Like FSR work method was thermogravimetric analyzer, Fourier transform informed spectroscopy, where research gap lags in the lack of pyrolysis, kinetics, and biomass comparison, optimizing methods, and environmental economic assessment limits cuts weights for renewable energy. Ahmed scan electron microscope micrograph linear scringe granulated iron slag roof tiles provide economic or eco benefits, but their long-term durability and performance in different environments are not. Electronic product cycle, PLA-based waste recycle system, the gap scalability and adaptability to various product types are not fully studied, making it difficult to assess the system waste management efficiency. Kumar, CNN model. The CNN model scalability across varied fruits and real-world agriculture situation, limiting its food waste mitigation and effectiveness investigations. FOI thermal compost waste management method. Malaysians food waste awareness is high, yet the study finds a gap in action. Research methodology, the data collection. Data collection is utilized from the Google Forms. Participant contributed insights on recycling efficiency, plant variations, soil composition, and water quality parameters through a structured survey. Parameters included recycling metrics, plant characteristics, soil properties, and water quality indicators. Facilitated efficient and uniform data collection, ensuring integrity and diversity in response. Collected variables encompasses recycling efficiency, feedstock types, plant attributed soil composition, and water quality. This comprehensive data set enables a thorough analysis and interconnected methodological framework. The evaluation of the methodological framework, the evaluation of feedstock and recycling efficiency involved three keys analysis. Initially, an independent sample test. T-test compared mean recycling efficiency between kitchen waste and sawdust. Subsequently, a one-way ANOVA explored variation in recycling efficiency across different feedstock types. Lastly, regression analysis investigated the relationship between kitchen waste and sawdust as independent variables, and recycling efficiency as a dependent variable, assessing coefficient and predictive power. The methodological insight, ANOVA and regression in plant type and nutrient content study. The study utilized one-way ANOVA to examine nutrient content variation among plant types. The regression analysis then delved into intricate relationship between independent variables just like height, weight, phosphorus level, nitrogen concentration, and chlorophyll content, and the nutrient content, revealing predictors significant and impact. Research methodology, comprehensive soil analysis, prevalence, composition, and interrelationship. The study begins by assessing the prevalence of different soil types in the research area. A one-way ANOVA was then used to identify significant variation in organic carbon content across soil types, utilizing statistical measures like sum of squares and F statics. Subsequent cross-tabulation explored the relationship between soil textures and type. Finally, correlations analysis examined association among keys. variables like organic carbon, moisture content, water holding capacity, and pH level, unveiling potential interdependency within soil composition for a holistic understanding. Investigating interrelationship in water quality parameters. The study initially assessed the distribution of various water sources in the study area. So one-way ANOVA, significant differences in BOD, biochemical oxygen demand among water sources were scrutinized. Further analysis explored correlation among water quality indices. DO, dissolved oxygen, BOD, COD, and pH level, temperature, alkalinity, acidity, and nutrient concentration, enhancing comprehension of complex interaction influencing water quality parameters. Result and discussion. Recycling efficiency, insight, and feedstock types. Analysis. The analysis of recycling efficiency yielded valuable insight into the impact of different sample t-tests revealed noteworthy differences in mean recycling efficiency between these two categories. Additional one-way ANOVA provided a comprehensive examination of recycle efficiency variations among various feedstock types, shedding light on potential trends and significant differences. Plant variation and nutrient content pattern. The result on the one-way ANOVA exploring nutrient content across different plant types revealed essential patterns. This analysis contributed to understanding how distinct plant characteristics, including height, weight, chlorophyll content, phosphorus level, nitrogen concentration, and influence nutrient content. The regression analysis further delved into the quantitative relationship between these variables, providing nuanced understanding of their collective impacts. Soil composition and texture related findings. The examination of a soil composition involved in a multifaceted approach. The one-way ANOVA identified significant differences in organic carbon content among diverse soil types. A cross-tabulation elucidated the intricate relationship between soil textures and soil type, offering valuable insight into the distribution pattern. Additionally, the correlation analysis provided a deeper understanding of the interdependency among organic carbon, moisture content, water holding capacity, and pH level in the soil. Water quality parameters, exploration and interrelationship. The distribution analysis of different water sources and subsequent one-way ANOVA on board variation among them unveiled essential patterns. The correlation analysis provide the holistic exploration of the interrelationship among key water quality parameters such as COD, BOD, DO, pH level, and temperature, alkalinity, acidity, and nutrient concentration. These findings contribute to nuanced understanding of water quality dynamics and their potential implication on environmental health, groundwater, river, and lake. Conclusion. In summary, this research contributes a multifaceted understanding of environmental dynamics and delving into recycling practices, plant health, and soil composition. Water quality parameters. The distinctness in recycling efficiency between kitchen waste and sawdust highlighted the needs of tailored recycling strategies. Plant health variation unveil complex relationship influencing nutrient content, offering vital insight for sustainable agriculture. The revelation of significant differences in organic carbon content among diverse soil types informs land management practices, while the examination of soil textures and type relationship adds depth to our comprehension of soil heterogeneity. Water quality analysis encompassing variation in BOD among different sources and correlation among key parameters enhance our understanding of water resources dynamics. The synthetic data collection method through Google Forms proves effective in stimulating real-world scenario for diverse analysis, showcasing its versatility. These findings transcend academic boundaries, offering practical implication for policymakers, environmental scientists, and practitioners striving for sustainable practices. As we confront global challenges, this research advocates for integrated approaches, recognizing the intricate interplay of environmental components. Embracing a holistic perspective ensures the preservation of ecosystem and well-being of present and future generation in our rapidly evolving world. Thank you, sir. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You can switch on your video because
Yes.
okay. Congratulations for your presentation, and we wish you all the success.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Participants, if you have any queries, then you may ask. Or if you have any suggestions, clarifications, you may use chat box or raise your hand. Okay, if there are no queries, then we wish you all the success for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
Once again.
Sir, can I switch off my video and audio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So we'll be moving to our next presenter. All the presenters who are available on the platform are requested to share your details. The schedule also have been shared. And those presentations which have not been scheduled yet can also present. Yeah, Badal Adak, you are not sharing topic. You are sending so many messages, but you are not following the instructions. You need to share your topic along with the details. And why you are sending so many messages? What is the purpose you are not mentioning in the chat box? Kindly be clear when you are sharing, because too many messages will create inconvenience. Be specific why you are messaging. Do you have any presentation? Badal Adak, do you have any presentation? You can reply in chat box. Okay, any others available for the presentations? Okay, then if there are no presentations or presenters available, kindly keep checking schedule. Whenever you are available for the presentations, you can inform us through chat box. So we will move on to today's commemorations. So as part of this week, we have a lot of commemorations which are related to social work and also various other interdisciplinary subjects. Today is commemorated as International Week of Solidarity with people struggling against racism and discrimination, which is commemorated this entire week from March 21st to 27th internationally. So the week of solidarity with people struggling against racism and racial discrimination promotes global awareness every year from March 21st to 27th. And this week also emphasizes the impact of communities and countries working towards racial tolerance, words, and equality. And it's also a call for repeal of laws and behaviors that promote racism, and also commemorating a pivotal moment in South African apartheid history. In 1960, nonviolent protesters assembled in Sharpeville to protest the country's past laws, which regulated slave movements. That day, police fired at the protesters, killing over 69 civilians. So the General Assembly approved a schedule of activities for the second half of the decade for the action to combat racism and racial discrimination in 1979. On that day, the UN General Assembly voted to hold an annual week of solidarity with people fighting racism and racial discrimination, commencing on March 21st. The first commemoration was held in 1980. Since then, the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination marks 60 plus years and 60th anniversary of the Sharpeville massacre in the state and is the state of Week of Solidarity. The United Nations stated in 1966 that this day shall be a symbol of international need to abolish racism. South Africa's apartheid system has been dissolved since then. Many countries have outlawed racist laws and practices and have established an international framework for combating racism. Directed by the International Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, even though the convention is a near universal adoption, racism continues to affect far off many individuals, groups, and societies in all regions. The convention primarily aims to implement appropriate steps to swiftly eliminate all forms of racial discrimination, as well as to avert and combat racist practices, to promote interracial understanding and create a global community free from racial discrimination and segregation. So children growing up in more racially divided urban centers have worse economic mobility than children who grew up in less segregated areas. So racial and economic segregation in regions leads to lower wages and educational standards and less opportunities. And discrimination includes treating people differently depending on their skin color and harboring prejudice against a group of people based on racial affiliations. Segregation, on the other hand, is the separation of people based on their perceived differences. 11 African American pupils desegregated Charleston Country's white schools in September 1963, making South Carolina the last state to do so. So to get more information, read the original resolution that initiated the observance is a great way to mark this day, and also by familiarizing yourself with the important facts concerning this week. You can also participate in your community and contribute to the decisions it makes concerning racial discrimination. Don't just be spectator. Play an active role, especially as a social workers or community workers. We have a great role to play. Study the impact of racism across the globe and learn how it has evolved and how the public reaction has shaped its growth and what can be done to eliminate it. Over one-third of the unarmed civilians killed by the police in US is black, which is a targeted demographic for racial discrimination. Even in churches, we see racism is widely practiced and prevalent. In the early 1900s, some US churches hung pine wood and a comb over their entryway and only allowed admittance to people whose skin tone was lighter than the pine wood and could use the comb on their hair without it snagging. As per the Death Penalty Information Center, since 1973, over 53% of 185 inmates exonerated from death row have been black. Since 1989, over 1,471 black people have been exonerated according to the National Registry of Exonerations. According to the National Registry of Exonerations, cases where black people were cleared from a wrongful murder charge are over 22% more common than the cases involving a similarly accused white defendant. Even we see a lot of police misconducted, which also is evidence of racial discrimination towards black. By focusing on racial equality, we can develop a framework, techniques, and resources, and these may be used to address other forms of marginalization in the society. It also heals our communities as racial diversity has various advantages, including greater academic performance, stronger group dynamics, and favorable long-term results. Each is critical to the development of social cohesion and communal well-being. Every culture and individual has a unique perspective. Moreover, each group, nationality, and individual has distinctive information, opinions, and viewpoints. When all these varied perspectives are combined, wonders can happen. Today is also commemorated as International Color Day on March 21st every year. And it has been more than 15 plus years since the idea for International Color Day was proposed by the Portuguese Color Association. It was created to celebrate color, and March 21st was chosen as it is the date of equinox, which means the length of the day and night are almost the same as the sun rays are straight on the equator. This day is celebrated by setting up exhibitions, science shows, and interactive programs for children, among other activities, including seminars, conferences, and so on, both online and offline activities. Colors have always made humans curious since the beginning of time. Aristotle believed that the colors came from heaven. He believed that the origin of all colors were black and white. However, it was in it was in 1660s when the Isaac Newton experimented with light and its different spectrums, and the color became a topic of study. After 2000 years, Aristotle postulates were replaced by the ones Newton created. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a German novelist, playwright, and scientist, argued that color was something that was perceived by individuals differently. He is known for his quote, "Colors are light, suffering, and joy. The distinction between primary and secondary colors was made by Jacob Christopher Leblanc." In 2008, Maria Jo Duaro, the president of Portuguese Colors Association, came up with a proposal to Association International de la Color, AIC, for recognizing the importance of color and dedicating a day to it. In 2009, the proposal was accepted by the members and the date was chosen to be March 21st as it is the day of equinox. Competitions, science fairs, art fairs, etc. to be held to celebrate. In 2012, an art competition was held in Taipei, Taiwan for deciding on the logo for International Color Day. Hosanna Yao of Hong Kong won the competition with his diagram of two circles that made an eye. Half of the circle consisted of rainbow colors and the other half was black. They represented light and darkness. The color of March is aquamarine. It represents spring. It is also a symbol of youth and hope. Actually, color does not exist. What exists is light and how our brains perceive the light reflections. Scientists have determined in the labs that there are 10 million colors in the world. So we can participate in this day celebrations, like participating in the taking part in the exhibitions, webinars, seminars that are held on this International Color Day and learn new things about color. Wear your national flag or hoist your national flag. Share your sense of patriotism even as you celebrate the national colors. Blue is the favorite color of most people in the world as per the survey. The fear of color is called chromophobia. There are two X chromosomes in women that helps them see certain spectrums better. That's why women see color better than men. Since the color red has the longest wavelength, it is the first color that the baby sees, and that's why we see most of the emergency vehicles or even the signals also, we see the red on the top, which indicates the stop signal because that can be seen from far away. Even the beacons and the towers always have this red light lit on them so that it can be seen from far and can be easily identified. The gray we see the second we turn off the lights is called Egenro. It is that gray dark before dark, which is a phenomenon. We live in a colorful world. We have a lot of colors, bright colors all around, but sometimes we forget to appreciate all the colors around us. This day is a reminder to be grateful for color and to appreciate color. It's a day to engage with family and gives us a chance to participate in events with family and friends. And it's an opportunity to bringing families together. And various exhibitions, science fairs are held on this day, which are educational and can be beneficial for the kids and also improves our general knowledge. Today is also commemorated as International Day of Forests. Roosevelt called them the lungs of the earth. Robert Frost and millions of poets were inspired by them, and Sting is fighting to save them. We are talking about forests, and the celebrities aren't the only ones who feel a strong connection with them. We all do, right? Just a simple walk in the woods can calm and invigorate our senses. In fact, the forests are so crucial to the future of our planet that the UN declared March 21st to be the International Day of Forests. For many years from now, the amazing global celebration has been creating awareness all over the world about the importance of forests. They are one of our greatest natural treasures that we must preserve and protect to save ourselves and our future generations. At the 16th session of the Conference of the Food and Agriculture Organization, in short known as FAO, the state members vote to establish World Forestry Day on March 21st of each year. The International Year of Forest is established by United Nations Assembly in 2011. The UN passes a resolution to observe March 21st as the International Day of Forests on November 28, 2012, designating March 21st as International Day of Forest. The world celebrates this important day dedicated to our Earth for the first time in 2013, the first International Day of Forests. Now go ahead, do a bit to make your neighborhood, community, city a little greener. So even buying or planting a little plant for your home counts. And start exploring the woods or the parks near you and bond with nature and drive away those winter blues because spring has just begun. A great activity for the entire family is scrapbooking, and recording interesting facts is a great way to teach children about the different types of trees and their importance in your locality. Or you can explore nearby woods, forest, and take up the activity of scrapbooking there along with family. Forests play an important role in preventing soil erosion as well as stabilizing and maintaining its quality. Forests are carbon sinks, absorbing and trapping the carbon dioxide. Forests are home to millions of species, sheltering and providing food for their sustenance. Forest trees absorb and redistribute an estimated 95% of water and are natural aqueducts. Sustainably managed forests provide raw materials such as timber, paper, and many other raw materials. Forests are the lungs of the earth. Forests are like giant green sponges all over the globe through which our earth breathes. Trees and plants take in carbon dioxide and gives us oxygen, cleaning our air. And not just for construction or paper or furniture, etc. The world needs wood. As the world population grows, with it the hunger for energy. Current wood accounts for approximately 45% of the world's renewable energy supply. Encouraging and modernizing this industry can help find new and sustainable ways to produce bioenergy. But at the same time, the pollution is also increasing with emission of greenhouse gases by burning of wood and other fossil fuels needs to be considered. Forests trap carbon to prevent global warming. They stabilize the climate, control atmospheric temperatures, protect watershed areas, regulate the water cycle, and enrich the soil. And that's not all the forests do for our environment. Forests are home to 80% of all known amphibian species. More than 30% of the new diseases reported since 1960 are attributed to the land use change, including deforestation. Forests contain over half the global carbon stock in soils and vegetation. An area roughly the equivalent of 14 million football pitches is lost every year to deforestation. Insect pests damage around 35 million hectares of forest annually. Forested watersheds and wetlands provide 75% of the world accessible fresh water. Innovation and technology have revolutionized forest monitoring, enabling countries to track and report on the forest more effectively. A total of 13.7 billion tons of carbon dioxide forest emission reductions or enhancements have been reported to the United Nations Framework on Convention on Climate Change through transparent and innovative forest monitoring. The theme for the International Day of Forests 2024 is Forests and Innovation, New Solutions for a Better World. The battle against deforestation requires new technological advancements, with 10 million hectares lost annually due to deforestation and approximately 70 million hectares affected by fires. These innovations are essential for early warning systems, sustainable commodity production, and empowering indigenous peoples through land mapping and climate finance access. Additionally, ecosystem restoration, including reforestation efforts, can significantly contribute to climate mitigation and enhance food security while pushing the boundaries of sustainable wood products and enhance food security while promoting sustainable wood practices. Participate in the celebration of the forest, join the conversation on social media using the hashtag Forest Day. You can also find various information online and offline to disseminate. So reducing the deforestation and forest degradation and restoring and sustainably managing forests are critical pathways to meet the 2030 global goals. Despite a slowdown in the deforestation rates, over 420 million hectares of forest have vanished since 1990, with an annual loss of 110 million hectares. To tackle these challenges, FAO and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland have jointly launched Aim for Forests, a 5-year program that aims to enhance forest monitoring through modern technologies, technological innovations, and the utilization of space data and remote sensing. As we have seen, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 21st March the International Day of Forests in 2012 to celebrate and raise awareness of the importance of all types of forests. Countries are encouraged to undertake local, national, and international efforts to organize activities involving forests and trees, such as tree planting campaigns. The organizers are the United Nations Forum of Forests and Food Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, in collaboration with governments, collaborative partnership on forests, and other relevant organizations in this field. So this is a wonderful opportunity for everyone to work on these forests. Forests cover nearly a third of the Earth's land surface, equivalent to the combined areas of Brazil, Canada, China, and the United States. These 4 billion hectares of forests are not just swaths of greenery. They are critical ecosystems providing habitats for most of the planet's species and livelihoods for nearly 1 billion people. Healthy forests play a crucial role in mitigating climate change by acting as a carbon sinks, absorbing billions of metric tons of CO2 annually. However, they are under threat due to deforestation and degradation in the article, UNDP explains how forests can help mitigate climate change, how forests can help us limit climate change. Change of environment conditions due to climate change is a major factor for the emergence of allergen-producing forest species, as well as the emergence of diseases. Yet forests can help us mitigate some of the human health-related effects of climate change by acting as carbon sinks, regulating the planet's temperature, and mediating water flows, and many more. Let's watch a short video.
Innovation is unlocking the forest's long-kept secrets. Buried deep under the bark of trees are powerful solutions. The chemistry of trees allows us to use them in ways we never imagined possible. Harmful plastics can now be replaced with biodegradable alternatives derived from wood. We can substitute graphite and rare earth metals in batteries and create new sustainable fibers to help reshape the fashion industry. Technology is constantly developing new sustainable materials from trees, from those that can heal us to those that provide us a place to live and work while locking in carbon. Drone innovations are changing the way we manage and protect our forests, helping to detect and fight forest fires, as well as safeguarding biodiversity and fragile ecosystems. Forests, new solutions for a better world.
Today, we are also commemorating World Down Syndrome Day. So let's look at few facts about this day. Down syndrome occurs when an individual has an partial or whole copy of chromosome 21. It is not yet known why this syndrome occurs, but Down syndrome has always been part of the human condition. It exists in all regions across the globe, and community results in variable effects on learning style, physical characteristics, and health. Adequate access to the healthcare, to early intervention programs, and to inclusive education, as well as appropriate research, are vital to the growth and development of individual. In December 2011, the General Assembly declared 21st March as World Down Syndrome Day. The General Assembly decided that with the effect from 2012 to observe World Down Syndrome Day on 21st March each year. In order to raise public awareness of Down syndrome, the General Assembly invites all the member states, relevant organizations of the United Nations system and other international organizations, as well as the civil society, including non-governmental organizations and the private sector, to observe World Down Syndrome Day in an appropriate manner. The estimated incidence of Down syndrome is between 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 1,100 live births worldwide. Each year, approximately 3,000 to 5,000 children are born with chromosome disorder. The quality of life of people with Down syndrome can be improved by meeting their healthcare needs, including regular checkups with healthcare professionals to monitor mental and physical condition and to provide timely intervention, be it physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, counseling, or special education. Individuals with Down syndrome can achieve optimal quality of life through parental care and support, medical guidance, and community based support systems, such as inclusive education at all levels. This facilitates their participation in mainstream society and fulfillment of their personal potential. It's time to end the stereotypes. A stereotype is a set idea that people have about what someone or something is like. Stereotypes can be positive, negative, or neutral, but they are often inaccurate or simply wrong. Stereotypes are often based on limited information or personal experience. They can be reinforced by the way something is represented in the media or by the cultural messages. Once formed, a stereotype can be difficult to change, but not impossible. For people with Down syndrome and intellectual disabilities, stereotypes can stop us from being treated like other people. We get treated like children and we are underestimated and we are excluded. Sometimes we are treated very badly or even abused. So for World Down Syndrome Day 2024, we call for people around the world to end these stereotypes. So join the Lots of Socks hashtag campaign, as we want to get the world talking about the World Down Syndrome Day by wearing lots of socks, but not just any socks. Wear brightly colored socks, long socks, printed socks, one socks, or even three socks for three chromosomes. If you do not normally wear socks, wear them. Wear them at home, nursery, school, college, university, work, play, travel, or holiday, wherever you are on 21st March. Here's how you can get involved in this Lots of Socks campaign. Let's watch a small video. In the meanwhile, the presenters waiting for their presentations can share details after these commemorations. We'll take it up.
Did you know that the 21st of March is World Down Syndrome Day? It was created to celebrate the life of people with Down syndrome and to make sure that people with Down syndrome have some freedoms and opportunities as everybody else. The 21st of March matches 3 copies of chromosome 21. This is unique to people with Down syndrome. Down Syndrome International first launched the global website in 2006. In 2011, Down Syndrome International asked Brazil to propose that the 21st of March become part of the United Nations calendar. Now on the 21st each year, Down Syndrome International calls everyone to action with people theme to ensure the human rights of people with Down syndrome. Holds events at the United Nations office in New York, USA, and in Geneva in Switzerland. Works with its members to organise worldwide activities and discussions. Every year, more and more people take action on that day. This includes people with Down syndrome, families and friends and supporters, school, companies and civil groups, governments and communities. Join us promote full inclusion on World Down Syndrome Day.
Today is also commemorated and celebrated as World Poetry Day, practiced throughout the history in every culture on every continent. Poetry Day Poetry speaks to our common humanity and our shared values, transforming the simplest of poems into a powerful catalyst for dialogue and peace. Held every year on 21st March, World Poetry Day celebrates one of the humanity's most treasured forms of cultural and linguistic expression and identity. UNESCO first adopted 21st March as World Poetry Day during the 30th General Conference in Paris in 1999, with the aim of supporting linguistic diversity through poetic expression and increasing the opportunity for endangered languages to be heard. World Poetry Day is the occasion to honor poets, revive oral traditions of poetry, recitals, promote the reading, writing, and teaching of poetry, foster the convergence between the poetry and other arts such as theater, dance, music, and painting, and raise the visibility of the poetry in the media. As poetry continues to bring together across the continents, all are invited to join in. Arranged in words, colored with images, struck with the right meter, the power of poetry has no match. As an intimate form of expression that opens doors to others, poetry enriches the dialogue that catalyzes all human progress, and it's more necessary than ever in turbulent times. UNESCO has been at the forefront of global literacy efforts since 1946, advancing vision of literate world for all. It views acquiring and improving literacy skills through life as an intrinsic part. And cities designated as UNESCO's World Book Capital undertake to carry out activities with the aim of encouraging a culture of reading and diffusing its values in all ages and population groups in out of the nation. Books have long embodied the human capacity to conjure up worlds, both real and imagined, giving voice to the diversity of human experiences. UNESCO Creative Cities of Literature join forces to celebrate World Poetry Day. Today is also commemorated as International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination. The 2024 theme of the International Day is a decade of recognition, justice, and development, and implementation of International Decade for People of African Descent. Racial discrimination and legacies of slavery and colonialism continue to destroy lives and curtail opportunities, preventing billions of peoples from enjoying their full rights and freedoms. This year's theme is linked to the International Decade for People of African Descent, which spans the time frame for 2015 to 2024. In proclaiming this decade, the international community is recognizing that people of African descent represent a distinct group whose human rights must be promoted and protected. Around 200 million people identifying themselves as being of African descent live in the Americas. Many peoples more live in other parts of the world outside of African continent. The International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination is observed annually. On the day, the police in Sharpeville, South Africa, opened a fire and killed 69 people at a peaceful demonstration against apartheid passed laws in 1960. So in 1979, the General Assembly adopted a program of activities and to be undertaken during the second half of the decade for action to combat racism and racial discrimination On that occasion, the General Assembly decided the week of solidarity with people struggling against racism and racial discrimination, beginning on 21st March, would be organized annually in all states. Since then, the apartheid system in South Africa has been dismantled, racist laws and practices have been abolished in many countries, and we have rebuilt an international framework for fighting racism guided by the International Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. The convention is now nearing universal ratification, yet still in all regions, too many individuals, communities, and societies suffer from injustice and stigma that racism brings. The United Nations General Assembly reiterates that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights and have the potential to contribute constructively to the development and well-being of their societies. In its most recent resolution, the General Assembly also emphasized that any doctrine of racial superiority is scientifically false, morally condemnable, and socially unjust and dangerous and must be rejected, together with the theories that attempt to determine the existence of separate human races. The United Nations have been concerned with the issue since its foundation, and the prohibition of racial discrimination is enshrined in all core international human rights instruments. It places the obligations on states that doctrine of racial superiority is scientifically false, morally condemnable, socially unjust, and dangerous, and must be rejected. It places obligation on states and tasks when with them eradicating discrimination in the public and private spheres. The principle of equity also requires states to adopt special measures to eliminate conditions that causes or help to perpetuate racial discrimination. In September 2021, the United Nations General Assembly brought together world leaders for one-day meeting in New York to mark the 20th anniversary of the adoption of the Durban Declaration and Program of Action under the theme Reparations, Racial Justice, and Equality for the People of African Descent. In 2007, in April 2009, the Durban Review Conference examined global progress made it in overall overcoming racism and concluded that much remained to be achieved. Undoubtedly, the greatest accomplishment of the conference was renewed international commitment to the anti-racism agenda. In September 2011, the United Nations General Assembly held a one high-level meeting in New York to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the adoption of the Durban Declaration and Program of Action. Their world leaders adopted by consensus a political declaration proclaiming their strong determination to make the fight against racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance and the protection of the victim thereof a high priority for their countries. So coming as it did during the 2011 International Year for People of African Descent, the 10th anniversary was a change to strengthen political commitment in fighting racism and racial discrimination. On 23rd December 2013, the General Assembly proclaimed the International Decade for the People of African Descent. Racism, xenophobia, and related discrimination and intolerance exist in all societies everywhere. Racism harms not just the lives of those who endure it, but also society as a whole. We all lose in a society characterized by discrimination, division, distrust, and intolerance and hate. The fight against racism is everyone's right and fight. We all have to be part in playing in building a world beyond race. Let's watch a short video on this so that we can have a better idea.
In an age in which it is imperative to reduce tensions and promote the concept of one human family, none may safely indulge in race hate and race injustice.
Hantse ke le mona ke la ka utlwa ntho e dumang e llang ha ke heta ke re ke bona batho ba se ba tloa fenseng ba baleya le nna ka kena fenseng ka baleya ha ke mmatha ke mmathile tjena a ke re ke gopola ha ke ya kwa ke tlo hlaka hae ho bona le ntate o mongwe kopanang le ene feta a ntshwara letsogo a mmatha ka nna re mmathile jwalo itse re fihla mo ka ngwe o thotse ntate wa mpotsa go ngwana ka o dula kae
buleta pele e ntshwere ke le mang e la ntshwara dintong mo ya ntsha seeta ha ke se ke le atametse go potlela koloinyane go tlo ipata ka dishopo ke mo ile kena mona ya nlatlha fatshe maka mata ke kgatsa ka ba ka go potela ka ha ntse re hlodisa re bona ba ntse ba kena ga ditopo tse William Fatshe maponesa ba ntse ba ketella ka dithuto ba ba ntse ba hlaba ka ditsenene tsena tse hlaba ba limetseng haholo ha metsi a pula Afrika a ntsa pula ena ba bonela madi le bokgobedi mo re mo ga re le metsi jwale re tlo tswa jwa mona bana batho bana ba thusa.
Je déclare ouverte la séance extraordinaire du comité spécial chargé d'étudier la politique d'apartheid du gouvernement de la République sud-africaine. Massacre qui a eu lieu à Sharpeville, en Afrique du Sud, et qui a eu pour victimes des hommes, des femmes et des enfants qui manifestaient pacifiquement contre les lois inhumaines de l'apartheid.
Rona batho ba le mmuso ona ba le re ratane ba tshwere mmuso ha ile bona re ba tshwaretse
Many of us like to think of racism as something from the past, something that no longer holds sway over our societies, something that no longer exists.
But World War II took place less than a century ago. Survivors of the Holocaust are still alive today.
The Jim Crow laws were enforced until 1965.
L'apartheid a été une réalité jusqu'en 1991.
We live in a world where people face barriers to education, employment, health, justice, and culture just because of the color of their skin.
Where people are discriminated against, excluded, stigmatized, attacked, or even murdered.
Just because of where they come from, what they look like, or what they believe in.
No more.
No more.
No more.
Hoy decimos basta.
El racismo y la discriminación son causados por la ignorancia y el miedo a lo que creemos diferente.
ويخترقان هياكلنا الإدارية وثقافتنا الشعبية وتحيزنا وفرضياتنا اللاواعية.
But this doesn't have to be the case.
You, me, us, we can create the change that we want.
By defending quality education for all, we can combat the root causes of deadly stereotypes and prejudices.
By developing historical knowledge and critical thinking, we can improve our understanding of the past.
By encouraging cultural diversity, especially at the local level, we can build societies that are more respectful of others.
By empowering the younger generation,
We can help them shape the world to come.
So, stop watching from the sideline.
Read, observe, learn, and listen.
we must hold ourselves accountable.
We must hold our societies accountable.
We are all one humanity.
Keep quiet is not an option.
Is not an option.
Di lo que piensas.
Speak up.
Speak up. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Today we are also commemorating this International Nowruz Day on March 21st, the World Nowruz or Nowruz, Nowruz, Nairoz, or however it is called, means new day. Its spelling and pronunciation may vary by country. Nowruz marks the first day of the spring and is celebrated on the day of the astronomical vernal equinox, which occurs usually on 21st March. And it is celebrated as the beginning of the new year by more than 300 million people all around the world and has been celebrated for over 3,000 years in the Balkans, the Black Sea Basin, the Caucasus, Central Asia, in the Middle East, and other regions. Inscribed in 2009 on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity as a cultural tradition observed by numerous peoples, Nowruz is an ancestral festivity marking the first day of spring and the renewal of nature. It promotes values of peace and solidarity between generations and within families, as well as reconciliation and neighborliness, thus contributing to cultural diversity and friendship among peoples and different communities. Nowruz plays a significant role in strengthening the ties among peoples based on mutual respect and the ideas of peace and good neighborliness. Its tradition and rituals reflect the cultural and ancient customs of the civilizations of the East and West. which influenced those civilizations through the interchange of human values. Celebrating Nowruz means the affirmation of life in harmony with nature, awareness of the inseparable link between constructive labor and natural cycles of renewal, and a solicitous and respectful attitude towards natural sources of life. International Nowruz Day was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in its resolution 253 of 2010 at the initiative of the several countries that shared this holiday. Under the agenda item of Culture of Peace, the member states of Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Albania, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Turkmenistan, prepared and introduced a draft resolution entitled International Day of Nowruz to be the ongoing 64th session of the General Assembly of the United Nations for its consideration and adoption. In the 71st plenary meeting on 23rd February 2010, the General Assembly welcomed the inclusion of Nowruz in the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization on 30th September 2009. It also recognized 21st March as the International Day of Nowruz and invited interested member states, the United Nations in particular, its relevant specialization agencies, funds and programs, and mainly the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, and interested international and regional organizations, as well as non-governmental organizations, to participate in events organized by states and organizations where Nowruz is celebrated. So Nowruz was inscribed in 2016 on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and New Year is often a time with people wish for prosperity and new beginnings. An important tradition practiced during this time is gathering around the table, decorated with objects that symbolize purity, brightness, livelihood, and wealth, to enjoy a special meal with loved ones. Gifts are exchanged specially for children, featuring objects made by artisans. There are also street performance of music and dance, public rituals involving water and fire, traditional sports, and making of the handicrafts. Today, we are also commemorating World Puppetry Day, which is also a great tool of communication for the commons and even social workers. We can see how many opportunities are there where social workers and community workers can extend their services and explore various domains and issues, concerns. So this day, World Puppetry Day, aims to attempt to pay tribute and to honor puppeteers from around the world It was established in 2003 by UNIMA, Union International dalle Marinetti. UNIMA is a non-governmental organization affiliated with UNESCO, and it was their initiative to use this day not only to promote puppetry arts, but also to create a space for the puppet actions to come together. This day seeks to maintain and safeguard the traditions of the art of puppetry. Historians claim that puppets were born before theatre actors, even before putting actual people on stage. These inanimate actors were doing a great job of entertaining a wide range of audiences from different parts of the world. In India, the origin of puppetry was traced back to the Indus Valley civilization in 2500 BC. Archaeologists have found a terracotta doll and a detachable head capable of being manipulated by a string. Many Indian classical texts like Ramayana and Mahabharata also mention puppets. China, Japan, and Taiwan also had their versions of puppetry. In ancient Greece, old writer records found in the works of Herodotus and Xenophon state that puppetry was in practice since 5th century BC. The Greek plays had puppetry shows performed in front of the common people, and European puppetry was inspired by this. There is also archaeological evidence of puppets in Egypt in 2000 BC. During this period, figures of wood operated by strings by humans in the 16th century, the traditional British Punch and Judy puppetry originated from the Italian commedia dell'arte, an earlier theatre form. This show became very popular among the masses and was performed with various alterations till 19th century. In 1929, the Union Internationale de la Marinette, in short known as UNIMA, or International Puppetry Association, was established in Prague. This organization was made to spark a resurgence of puppetry and help puppeteers show off their art form and connect with other like-minded artists. UNIMA centers have been created in several parts of the world. So Kermit is the most popular puppet of all time. Kermit has appeared on various television shows like The Muppet Show and even The Tonight Show, and most famous puppet in the West. Alexander Shrivev was the first puppet animator. He was the ballet master of St. Petersburg Mariinsky Theatre and created the world's first puppet animation film in 1906. A custom-made puppet usually costs around $500 to $1,500. Several materials are used to make one puppet, and a lot of labor goes into its production. So if you have never seen a puppet show before, then now it's time. Find any puppet shows online or in your area and go grab a seat. You can extend financial support to the local puppeteers by donating funds. Inspired by Vietnamese rice fields, these puppets tells the tales of the culture and tradition. The water puppets are 4 feet above the water with rods making them sway gracefully. The biggest puppet animation film ever made used stop motion animation and required 1,500 handmade puppets. String puppets of Marionettes were the dolls that were controlled by strings are most common. Wood carved puppets as big as humans with operators dressed in all black for the drama in Japan. So with the bottom of technology and OTT platforms, going to the theater to watch puppet shows is fast becoming a thing of the past. This day exists to remind us that the puppetry is extremely unique and needs to be appreciated more. Traditional puppetry is mainly demonstrated by performance and movements on the stage. You don't need to necessarily know the language in order to understand it. This form of entertainment transcends all kinds of cultural and linguistic barriers. And it is celebrated all over the world because puppetry makes people happy. It transports us back to our childhood, where we too played with inanimate dolls and gave them personalities. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. And again, it's time for presentations, if any. So a lot of presentations were scheduled, but hardly I could see any. So I will quickly show the list of scheduled presentations today. Yeah, Christina. You can unmute yourself.
Sir, is it me, sir?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Christina.
Yeah, Christina Keegan. Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Ravindra. Good afternoon, fellow colleagues from different parts of the world. I want to say a big thank you for this opportunity to participate in the ongoing commemoration, and also I just want to comment on the presentation. It was funny to me, but I think it's worthy of mentioning that as instruments used to create fun and happiness for people is being they are being celebrated and commemorated. Thank you, Dr. Ravindra, for bringing this up. In my country, Nigeria, it is used in parties to create fun, to excite kids, to create laughter, really. And of course, we know what laughter does to. We know the importance of laughter in well-being. As social workers, as humanitarian service providers, we know what happiness, laughter will do to a person who needs such. Like a depressed person will need fun to come out of depression. Like a sad person will need fun that is being created by this puppet to come up and feel happy. So thank you very much, Dr. Ravindra. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your comments, Christina. Yeah, like we social workers, often we are constricted to very selected fields, but we are related to each and everything on the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we can see how many, even today's commemorations we are talking about food, climate change, talking about perceptions, culture, traditions, discrimination, and social worker can work on various aspects where can play active role. So our presentations also should not be restricted to just social work. But when we are talking about field work, it should go beyond horizons and the limited specializations. We should also venture into agriculture, animal welfare, not just limited to community development or medical psychiatric social work or human resource development or women and child development. There are a lot of, unexplored areas, specializations where social workers can do. Like we earlier had radical social work, religious social work, and so many specializations where social worker can really, make a significant impact in the society. So we need to move out of our comfort zone and, explore and disseminate knowledge on these occasions. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to learn from the history and ensure that those mistakes are not repeated in the future as well as in the present. Thank you, Christina, for your comments. Anyone else would like to make presentations? Kindly share your details so that we can invite you.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah,
Thank you
Christina.
so much for the kind. Thank you so much for the kind comment. I am happy with your comments on having social workers see themselves not just limited to humanitarian service provision, but to know that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Amiya Kumar Das, would you like to make presentation? Yes, Sunil Kumar, you can present tomorrow if you have any technical issues today. But ensure that you are completing presentations. We have a lot of presentations requested. We have put almost only 75% of them. There are still 25% in the waiting list. We will update them today or by tomorrow, because we see a lot of presenters who have registered are not turning up for their presentations. So we will give opportunity for the new ones and ensure that those who are registered, we are also sending mails also. And today, to facilitate quicker communication, we have created a WhatsApp group. So where you can interact, but don't post unnecessary messages. And we will also share the updates. And as we see, many are not turning up. You need not follow the schedule also. Accordingly, whoever is available on the platform at that part of time, we'll see if the speakers are not present, others who are present can utilize this time so that when they are available, we can allot some time for them. And we request all the speakers to join at 6 o'clock and utilize the time whenever there is available. If there are no speakers available. So the next speaker will be filled with the same slot. So don't wait till your time, join, and whoever is available will take it up. So we'll just quickly see the list. And if anyone wants to present now, you can share your details and you can raise your hand. We'll see if anyone is available right now whose presentations have been scheduled today. So this is the schedule page where we have all the schedule tentatively. So do we have on this platform Olamide Joe Edisna? Yesterday they could not present. Dr. Vanaja Dantuluri, Dr. Jyoti Makkar, Mrs. Vasanta Talya Ramarao, Hannah Shirley M. Any one of you are available, you immediately share your details so that we can take it up. Shivanatham Shivarushan, Tiwari Muskan Jitendra, Vajrakon Utanova, so today's scheduled presenters, Gulzoda Goplova from Urchen, Dr. John Eslebu, Sunil Kumar, you have mentioned you have some difficulty. Okay, you can present tomorrow. Balaji, Indu P. Nair, R. Samanayak, Kumara, Dr. Rena K. Divakar, Jani Dilip Batukre, S. Kamil Hassan Nakwi, Priyanka Namdio, Inmova Zenoboxen, Yamna Walis, Sevra Manbudova from Uzbekistan, Anarbovia Meribonu Escorba. Sorry if we are not pronouncing names properly. From Uzbekistan, Renukamma GS, G. Padmaja, Mosre Kamara, Emmanuel Tamba Muna, Momo, Naresh Srinivasan, MD Rosan Ali, Mubina Bonu, Professor Savita B. Chauhari, Aminu Salisu. Okay, these are the scheduled presentations for today. Anyone is available? We can take it up. Otherwise, if these speakers are not available, those who would like to make presentation, you can share your details, your topic, name, designation, organization, and the place you are from, so that we can invite you for presentations. Kindly check the website, see the schedule. Even if you want to reschedule or present earlier, you can make a request in the chat box that we will invite you for presentations. Yeah, Dharmavir, if you have any presentation, you can share your details in chat box. Now we will go with the Sabina Christina presentation. And if there are no further presentations, then after this, we shall close the session. And always remember, the days are passing on and we will not get, there are still more presenters who have registered, but due to lack of time, we could not schedule them. So we will start scheduling them more than what is required. So we will allot more time and schedule, but whoever is available can make their presentations and utilize.
Sir, can I start now?
Yeah, you can switch on your video as well.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. Introduce yourself along with your topic.
Greetings to everyone. Myself, Sabina Christina from Bangalore, Karnataka, India. I'm working as assistant professor at Dayanand Sagar University, Ramnagara district. I'm a nursing faculty working as assistant professor by profession. Apart from that, I've enrolled myself as a PhD scholar. Now, the topic that I'm interested in presenting today is this topic I have been motivated to take up. I haven't completed the study on it, but it is still on the process. Now, a clue about what is that I'm going to speak today that is most important in social services. So can I operate the screen or?
You have shared now, you can continue. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you see the picture here, it is a small insect. It looks like a butterfly, but actually it is a silkworm moth. Now, this silkworm butterfly, if you take up, people really don't get to see it very often. And we take India. India is one of the greatest, second largest country in silk industry. Now, my topic, what I'm going to speak today is, it's not about the life cycle of silkworm, because if you take the life cycle of silkworm starting from the egg till it becomes a larva, and then it again becomes a butterfly, which is called as Bombyx mori, one of the silkworm insect. Now over here, if you take up the topic that I'm going to focus is sericulture, which is the famous industry in India. And in India, if you take up some of the South standing as a second important state in doing the sericulture and silk industry. Now, sericulture, if you take up, it's an activity which is involving a very low investment, but the output which you get from the sericulture is very high. Now, what is that I'm going to focus in sericulture is to know the knowledge and practice how the people are rearing the silkworm at home level. And because of rearing this silkworm at home level, what are the health hazards that they face? Now, this was my topic of interest, because when we started doing some health assessment in Ramnagara villages on the basis of our academy, we could find that many people in that area were suffering from many health issues, especially respiratory tract infections and skin infections. Now, this was the reason why I got motivated to know what was the reason that people were having these kind of health hazards in particular areas. So when a research study was done as a pilot study, that's when we got to know it was the silkworm industry which was in the nearby surrounding, and people were even rearing silkworms at home, which was causing these effects. And many people were not aware that the effects were because of their occupational industry. Now, if this was a pic which is taken from the village where we visited for a health assessment, and most of them, starting from women till men, all are involved in this. And when the statistics were taken throughout the world, 8.7 million people, especially women, were economically disadvantaged group focusing on sericulture. And the techniques that they used was the major issue in causing this health hazard, because when you talk about the chemicals and how this life cycle of the silkworm is affected, as yesterday we focused on animal compassion, how we have to save the nature. Now, silkworm is not causing any issue. The silk moth is not causing an issue. But taking out silk from that particular insect, the process used for it is what is troubling a human, because they're going to boil that insect. They're going to dye the insect using a lot of chemicals. They're going to wash it. They're going to reel it and then make the silk which comes out of that cocoon, which is being rounded with that silk. Now, this process is the one which is causing lot of health hazards, where respiratory is standing as a primary. And then skin infections, especially dermatitis related issues. Along with that, if you take up, now these were some of the conditions that we could see in that village where we went for a health survey. And because of using these kind of equipments for getting out those silk firms, that filaments which comes from the worm, they use a lot of equipments where there's a lot of noise produced, which is even causing hearing related issues. And the chemicals, what they used mainly, it was formaldehyde, then formalin. They were using sodium bicarbonate. Because of these kind of chemicals, there was a lot of neurological disorders also developing in a slower aspect. And a longer time, the women were asked to stand, and the posture that they were maintaining for this kind of occupation was even causing musculoskeletal disorders. And due to constantly looking at the boiling and the fumes coming from that hot boiling water, it was more than even 150 degrees centigrade. Sometimes they were even going to the boiling of even 450 degrees Celsius. In that case, the fumes which comes can even damage the eyes, where conjunctivitis also developing to the people. So these were some of the health hazards which were seen in the place where I was getting motivated to do the health research. Based on that, so on the whole, if you take up, I wanted to focus on the PPE kits that can be given to it. Now, when you look at the picture here, if anybody who's listening to the presentation, can we know what is this picture showing about? I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Participants can respond by unmuting their mics or use chat box.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, these are the equipments to save the body. Different things, helmet there, goggles there, shoes there. So the workers protect their body.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Divjot. You exactly said that. So these are the protective devices that is used to protect ourselves when we are getting exposed to any kind of chemicals, or might be the place where we are working, it might be environment, or it can be the temperature, anything it is. Now over here, if you take up, this is a PPE kit which can be applied to any industry. But for the sericulture industry, we are going to focus on ear plugs because of the noisy equipments which they use for this silk removal. And then we are planning for a goggles because they're going to spend more time in the boiling water and the chemicals which can damage their conjunctiva as well as retina on the longer gap. And then preparation of the apron and the long coats which they use so that the chemicals don't spill on the body. And then most important is the gloves that we are planning. And depending upon the exposure to the chemicals, even the long pants or the boots. But over here, if you take up on the basis of social service, because we are focusing on that, I have discussed about this to my where they've told like they will be helping and providing a budget so that we can give some kind of PPE kits for people who are struggling there in that particular industry facing all these chemicals. So we are going to focus on three important things, that is the mask, then the apron, and the gloves. These are the three things that we are planning to give from our end so that people who are in that industry will be benefited, and they also will be educated that they need to wear these PPE kits when they're getting exposed. And on the study that was done as a pilot study, we could see that both husband and wife were getting exposed to this industry, where the children at home were indirectly getting affected due to health hazards of the parents. So on the basis of this apron, we are planning to give them a resin apron so they can wash it, dry it, and they can reuse it. And then the glouses. Now, the normal glouses will not be that effective when it comes in contact with the chemicals that they use for this silk rearing. Now, the glouses that we are planning to give is nitrile glouses, which are the strong gloves when they're getting exposed to the chemicals. And if people are allergic to glouses, then they can even go for the latex free. Now, this is a little expensive gloves, but because it is given as a budget base, we are planning to prepare it in our own hospital, so it will be easy for us to meet the need. And And a pilot study, we are planning to give it for a 50 number of people. And if it works out well, then we are planning to take more fund and then give it on a larger basis, because the health associations, which is in Ramnagara, we are planning to approach them, even ask them for the fund. And most important, if you take up, is a respirator mask, because what I identified in the villages which we were focusing, most of them were having respiratory issues where they were using this pump and inhalers to breathe in. So this is a very specialized respirator mask like N95 and N100, but this is very expensive. So we are planning to make a 3-layer or a 4-layer mask, and they can use it 2 days once, so that it will protect them from getting exposed to the fumes and dust particles when they're coming across culturing, when the mulberry leaves are being put there, when they're removing the insects larvae, and when they're removing the fecal matter of the insects. So these dust particles will not enter inside and trigger the asthma, which is more commonly seen in those places. So these are the 3 things that was identified to be focused. Apart from that, the other gaps that I personally identified during the pilot study was lack of ventilation. Most of the homes, they were having a generational idea that the silkworm needs to be reared inside their home. They had some mythical ideas where they were keeping it inside the home, and it need to have a kind of like dim light and a low ventilation, and not much of exposure. Because of this lack of ventilation, the problems what they were facing was getting aggravated. So this is one problem that was identified, and getting exposed to the chemicals was another major issue for the respiratory, for the skin, as well as for the neurological damage. And they were having a lack of education, though they were getting involved in that particular profession for a very long time as a generational practice, but still they were not having teaching along with that string. And we are not discouraging them not to do that particular profession. They can continue, but on the basis of precaution. And the sanitation needs to be maintained, especially when they're handling the silkworm fecal matter, which is high risk for causing a parasitic infestation, bacterial and viral infestation. So they need to focus on the sanitation. A lack of awareness was identified, and environmental hygiene was not maintained. And especially because they were more engrossed in earning more money, thinking that this is how we can have our livelihood. And as Indians, if you take up, we are more in a field that we need to earn more money, but on the loss, we are losing our health. So lack of nutrition is also focused in this particular study, which needs to be educated to the people. And if our budget is able to meet that need, we are also planning to give them ideas on what are the nutritious food that they can take, which will help them in healing as well as giving them enough of strength to handle the situations. So this was the ideas that was identified and the gaps that was recognized, where the planning of intervention is provided. So we want to know how long they're getting exposed to the chemicals. So the exposure time can be reduced, and their exposure physically to the chemicals can be reduced by wearing those PPE kits, and improving the ventilation at home, educating them to have a separate place where they can grow the silkworms and do the industry instead of growing it in their house. So these were the points that is planned in our pilot study, which is on the process of getting it implemented. So on the whole, to summarize, what I'm planning to do is imparting knowledge for people in sericulture industry, not only in Karnataka, throughout the world, throughout India. So planning to post it in journals so everybody can know, though there are multiple journals and multiple studies done, still people are not able to adapt those techniques which is given. And reducing the time of exposure by telling them to take a break in between every exposure, so that they will not be exposed to it for a longer time. and educating them, especially based on the PP shielding, wearing of gloves, mask, and the aprons. These three things most important. And depending on the exposure, even the boots can be used to protect them so that they don't get exposed for the skin related issues. And ventilation system, advising them to use some exhaust, or might be an open ventilation or keeping a cross ventilation so that the breeze can come in and go out, so that the gas which is produced from that insect doesn't stay back, causing them allergic reactions like asthma, bronchitis, which can lead up to COPD related issues. And teaching them on what is health and how to maintain it. And most important, for all these things to put in place, we need support of government as well as non-government agencies who would come forward to help us in giving some budget or helping us to do it in a better way. So this is what is the idea that has been put forward by me as a PhD scholar, where we have conducted a small pilot study which has come out well. So on the whole, we need to do it in a larger scale. So by the grace of God, I think this study which we are planning to do in 5 adopted villages in our place will be beneficial to people there. So I felt this study was one way of social service in Ramnagara district, Karnataka, India, where people will be educated on how to take care of their health so that they will be in a healthy way, so that the future citizens will be better and India will be a very healthy country. And I thank Ravindra sir for giving me this opportunity to do an online presentation on a small pilot study which I have done for my PhD thesis and dissertation. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Sabina Christina. It's a really wonderful initiative that you have focused on occupational hazard of, rearing silkworms at home. In fact, this is also an area where we need to work on various occupational hazards. Every occupation has its own hazards, which are unique and all, and some are, though some are similar, some are unique also with respect to occupation. So you have come up with such an unique research. So that hope that will help because India is also one of the major textile producing nation. So it will help addressing these occupational hazards and preventing more of such occupational hazards in textile industry. And not only that, a lot of side effects that cause pollution and other polluting of natural resources and other harmful effects can also be reduced. Very well presented, and we wish you all the success. Hope it will come out in a very effective way.
Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
Thank you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir.
So participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourselves and ask or use chat box if there are any. Otherwise, we'll move on to our next presentation. I think there are no queries. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
So next we have with us Dharmavir. In the meanwhile, any other presenters who would like to present, kindly share your details. Kindly read the instructions on the website. In spite of informing, many are not sharing their details properly. in the chat box. Kindly share your first thing should be your topic. Along with that, your name, occupation, designation, organization, and place from where you are representing, so that it will also be part of the documentation. Otherwise, sometimes you present so after, I think this would be the last presentation, as there are no other presenters for the day. We see a lot of presenters have applied, but don't know what's the reason. Anyway, yeah, Dharmavir, you can unmute yourself, start your video and start your presentation with your brief introduction about yourself and your topic.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes. You can share your PPT.
Yes, sir. Sir, my PPT is visible?
Yeah, now it's fine. You can make it full screen.
Sir, I am Dharamveer, and I am from Panipat, Haryana, working as a medical social worker in the field of child health. And this PPT was prepared by me in a seminar which was organized by Education Department in Panipat with the help of medical officers, specialists in child health, and you can see different types of early birth defects. Can anyone talk about these types of birth defects? These are found among children.
Yes, sir. Sometimes I have seen 1 or 2 cases here.
These are some birth defects. Can anyone speak? Lip palate.
Cleft lip, cleft palate.
Yeah.
And it's a cephali related issue, postural cephali.
Yeah.
Positional.
Birth defects, congenital disorders present at birth occurs in 2 to 4% of all neonates. These abnormalities may be caused by environmental factors that affect the mother or are inherited via abnormal genes from the carrier or affected parents. Such disorders account for about 20% of death during the neonatal period and higher percentage of morbidity in infancy and childhood. With the dramatic decrease in infant mortality due to improvement in the control of infections and malnutrition related disorders, chronic disabling conditions are an emerging challenge facing developing and industrialized nations. Occurrence and prevalence. Prevalence rates of the various types of disability vary in different populations, although only a limited numbers of national surveys have been conducted to identify the etiological factors in the development of disability. It is generally believed that 76% of disability is caused by genetic factors. In one survey, it was shown that 21.9% of cases of disability resulted from perinatal damages. 3% arose from prenatal factors. 29% were acquired during infancy and early childhood, and 47% had no known causes. The overall prevalence rate of disabled children was 2.7%, and age-specific prevalence rate shown an increase with age. Etiological factors. Disability may be developmental or acquired and may arise from perinatal damage, prenatal factors, acquired neonatal factors, and early childhood factors. These may include genetic factors, infections, traumatic or toxic exposure, nutritional factors which result in perinatal or postnatal damages. Etiological factors of disability among children at different stages are perinatal, like genetic factors, genetic diseases, developmental malformations, maternal age, maternal disease, drugs and medications, chemicals, radiations. Perinatal, low birth weight, prematurity, obstetric complications, trauma during labor, asphyxia, etc. Postnatal infections, poliomyelitis, tuberculosis, meningitis, encephalitis, endemic disease like goiter, carcinoid, accidents, malnutrition, poisoning, tumors, environmental factors, psychosocial problems, etc. Every human society requires that its future generations be healthy. This depends on the birth and rearing of healthy children. To this end, preventive screening for genetic disorders, including developmental disability, is an essential component in uncovering possibility disorder early, thus enabling timely medical interventions. Such efforts are also required in order to reduce the expression and severity of disability. The ability of a physically or mentally disabled child to cope with and adapt to everyday life may be minimal compared to that of a normal child, and the disabled child may continuously suffer from trying to perform the functions so normal to others. Birth defects or congenital anomalies, defined as conditions present at birth, are estimated to affect 1 in every 33 babies with varying degrees of severity. Causes: most have unknown causes or are multifactorial. Genetic or chromosomal causes like heredity, cell division errors, risk factors like addictions, chemical exposure, lack of folic acids, infections. During pregnancy, most of females in villages are found not taking the proper folic acid tablets of 5 mg every day, because they are unaware about the importance of folic acid during pregnancy, because folic acid is a salt which makes the small parts of the body of the baby. And most of abnormalities are found in those mothers who are not taking folic acids during pregnancy. While when they undergo for the ultrasounds process, they are found different types of abnormalities. And how we can detect these types of abnormality, like screening test, ultrasound level 2, color Doppler, blood tests also, diagnostic test like CVS, etc. Others are diagnosed after birth or later on in life. In Panipat, if I talk about Panipat district in Haryana, Panipat is a large city where around 200 children are treated of CSD, heart disease, like while they are studying in schools in Anganwadi, they are found by our teams, medical teams, which are visiting in rural area. They found these types of children, and when they referred these children to civil hospital Panipat, and echo was done, and it was found there are many problems in their hearts, and more than 200 children are treated by the RBSK scheme. There are many hospitals like Fortis Mohali near Chandigarh, which are treating these types of children free of cost. Also, in Delhi, there are many hospitals which are panelized by Haryana government. They are Haryana government are facilitating these types of medical facility in Haryana. And prevention, how can we prevent these types? Many cannot be prevented, but preventive measures can lower their risk. Prenatal vitamins, regular checkups. There are 4 checkups, ANC checkups during pregnancy of pregnant women, and every 9th day of every month is celebrated as a free health checkup camps by the health department Haryana in rural and urban areas by the gynecologist and special doctors which are appointed by the health department, and free screening like blood test, ultrasounds are done for pregnant women. And as a social worker, when I visit in a rural area or in private hospitals, and I aware the pregnant women about these types of abnormalities, and I motivate them for taking folic acid during the free trimester during 3 months of the early pregnancy, and like calcium tablets, iron tablets are also advised in them. And the causes of birth defects like genetic defects, infections during pregnancy, lifestyle choices like and behaviors. It is found in rural area and urban area. Also in urban areas, many pregnant women consume alcohol and drugs, and also smoke, which affect the baby in her womb. And also these types of counseling, drugs counseling, alcohol counseling also provided by the medical social workers to them. There are some preventions like primary prevention. This involves the prevention of the manifestations of the disability. It may be universal. Prevention desirable for everyone or be restricted to a selected population. Prevention recommended for a high-risk groups like pregnant women or the women taking alcohol or drugs during his pregnancy period. To an indicated population, prevention in individuals with an identified risk. In primary prevention, like genetic counseling, genetic counselors are appointed by the health department in ANC rooms, like a social worker also there. Immunization programs, improved prenatal and postnatal care, regulations and legislation, and other related means. Genetic counseling. Genetic counseling is an essential part of primary prevention strategies. It is the process of providing information on genetic risk, the nature and the consequences of genetic disorders, and the means available for prevention of transmission of defective genes. Within this framework, there are three major aspects essential to effective counseling. Diagnostic aspect, where an accurate diagnosis is required for a secure foundation for advice. Estimation of risk, preventive measures to ensure that those who are advised will benefit. Immunization programs. Immunization of general immunization during infancy have led to a remarkable decrease in, or in a few cases, a complete absence of several infectious diseases that used to be a major cause of disability. These include poliomyelitis, tuberculosis, improved perinatal and postnatal health care. These aspects of prevention concentrate on the management of maternal risk factors at the time of delivery and support for the premature or compromised neonates. Secondary prevention strategies aim at reducing the duration or severity of disability. These activities provide early identification of disabling conditions, followed by prompt treatment and intervention to minimize the development of disability. These strategies can be applied either at the prenatal or neonatal level. Some of the conditions that can be diagnosed during the prenatal and neonatal stages are listed in a table. Like neonatal screening. Tertiary prevention to increase awareness of disability and the needs of disabled people, to encourage their full integration in society, to improve prevention and stimulate a more sensitive and understanding attitude. Early recognition of disability can be done. There is a program, प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षित मातृत्व अभियान. हर महीने की 9 तारीख को हर सिविल हॉस्पिटल PSC CSC लेवल पे एक फ्री हेल्थ चेकअप कैंप्स ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाता है, जिसमें प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन का सारा टोटली जो चेकअप्स है, मेडिकल चेकअप्स, जिसमें लेबोरेटरी चेकअप्स होता है, अल्ट्रासाउंड फ्री होता है, और उनको फोलिक एसिड टैबलेट, कैल्शियम टैबलेट और आयरन टैबलेट्स फ्री डिस्ट्रीब्यूट की जाती है. इसमें कोई चार्जेस नहीं है, और ये पूरे हरियाणा में 9 तारीख को हर महीने की ANC डे के रूप में मनाया जाता है. These are some tests like blood tests, urine test, blood pressure, HB, ultrasound. This is a picture with showing the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. There are some common birth defects. Hydrocephalus. You can see these are some birth defects. Inguinal hernia, umbilical hernia. These are abnormality due to not taking the folic acid during pregnancy, or use of drugs or alcohol, or there are so many reasons behind this. Down syndrome. These pictures shows the Down syndrome. Absence of foot and toes. And I think my topic is very long, and next part I will present tomorrow. These are some categories of disabilities, which are like learning disability, dyslexia, dysgraphia.
Do you have presentation tomorrow?
No, sir. But my PPT is very long, sir.
It's okay. You can take
Roles of
the
social workers
presenters are
among
not
children with
available.
disability. Yes, sir. A
You
social
can
worker
continue, no
works
problem.
with, yes, a social worker works with parents and other caring for a child with a disability. Social workers will often see you on your own. This is so you can speak freely without your child to meet each other and share experiences. They may see you and your family at your house, on or in a children disability services center. As a child gets older, the focus of social work may include working directly with the children and young people themselves, both individually and through groups. A disability social worker is a type of healthcare social worker who help people with physical and mental disability copes with the challenges in their daily lives. The problems they face depends on the type of impairment and the severity of their disability. The term disability refers to how individuals interact with their environment. Disability social workers assist people in comprehending their diagnosis, and they support them in making lifestyle adjustment to accommodate their disability. Disabled people often need help with transportation or with gaining access to buildings, and some find it difficult to communicate with devices with small screen like cell phones. Disability social workers also make sure their clients have safe and stable housing, and they may also help their clients find employment. Disability social workers can connect disabled individuals with the right support groups to help them manage their disability, and there are many NGOs working in the field of disability. They provide many equipments and instruments to the disabled people, and social worker can counsel the disabled people for how can they get help from these NGOs. A disability social worker sometimes works with physicians and other healthcare professionals to explain the effects of the client disability on that person's emotional and mental health. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks.
Congratulations, Dharmabir. It was very...
Thank you, Ravindra, sir, for giving me an opportunity for this, sir.
It was very nice presentation.
Thank you so much.
I've covered a lot of details and also various programs. Congratulations,
yes,
and wish you all the success. Participants, if
Thank
you
you,
have any queries, you can ask. You can raise your hand or you can use chat box or unmute yourself.
Sir, I have a query.
Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead.
Sir, for these learning disabilities, what is the best way that social service can be given, sir? Because we have seen a lot of children with this learning disabilities unidentified also, especially dyslexia.
Ma'am, there is a DEIC centers in Haryana. in
Okay,
every
sir.
district civil hospital, a district early intervention center. These learning disorders are identified and counseled by the special educators.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Also, the audiologist is there. Physiotherapist is also there, ma'am.
But sir,
They
this has
can
to be
visit
first
in the EIC center.
identified by teachers and parents, no, sir, to be given care at the right
Yes,
time.
yes, yes. Yes, at school level, teachers
Okay.
are responsible. They can identify them from schools and they can refer. Also, there is a field teams of field teams of medical professionals which visit
Okay.
in schools and Anganwadi centers. They identify the childrens and they refer these children to civil hospital in DEIC center, and
Okay. Thank
proper
you, sir.
treatment and care are provided there.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So we need to
Thank you,
start
ma'am.
this at
Welcome.
the base level in that case.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any queries? Feel free to ask. Or if you have any appreciation, you can feel free to unmute yourself and share. Okay, if there are none, then we'll move on to our next presentation. So congratulations once again. And we wish
Thank you
you
so
all
much,
the
sir.
best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, do you have any question? You can unmute yourself. Galaxy A30. Or you can use chat box.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I'm Idris Mohammed Ango, THD Research Scholar, NIMS University, Department of Social Work. I want to say, presenter, you did a well-done presentation. Actually, the presentation is very well enriched, and he wide his study very well in this aspect of early childbirth detections. But I want to contribute to his presentations. When trying to talk about some of the causes of these early birth defections, I think he should have talked about prolonged labor. Prolonged labor is also another process of which early birth defections is affecting the newly childbirth in most of the pregnant women, which is also a very wide coverage area that causing disability, especially in the new babies born. I think the presenter has to inculcate this. He has to inculcate this. He has to inculcate this issue of prolonged labor, which most of the women are suffering from it, especially the pregnant women that come from villages and some of the rural areas that don't have full knowledge on how to prevent themselves from having any illness while during pregnancy. And some of the men that have pregnant women that cannot take them to hospital at the time they are going to give birth to baby, we normally allow them at home. By allowing them at home, taking long time without delivering a baby, it is causing these damages of diseases into them, especially the new babies. Then another thing that I want to contribute to this presenter is that this is a very serious disease that are becoming common in the global world today, especially this early birth detection. Then there is need for the presenter to widen his coverage in terms of trying to notify the general public within India and also outside the global world on how to prevent themselves from this early birth detection. And the simple way to create awareness through the society in order to do away with this early birth detection is that there is need to use media, especially the radio, the newspaper, the televisions, and other means of creating awareness, especially people gathering when there is a ceremonial event, is it naming ceremony, wedding ceremony, and any other means of transmitting the information across the society will help in fast-tracking this problem within the society. Otherwise, this danger of this disease will continue taking place within the society. So this is some of my contribution toward this very fantastic presentation. Thank you very much for giving me time and opportunity to contribute toward this presentation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your addition on the presentation. You know, we all need to contribute. See, it's not an one man's or one woman's job. It's nowadays all these are multidisciplinary professions. No, everyone can take part, like starting from the parents of the child and teachers and family members, community health workers, medical social workers, and everyone, even the medical professionals, rehabilitation professionals have a role to play. And we need to create awareness, like as you rightly pointed out, media, as the presenter has also showed various programs undertaken by state government, central government. We all need to be proactive in bringing awareness and taking these schemes and programs, policies to the grassroots level. So social worker can rightly, as a community health worker or as a community social worker, he can take this to the community and bring awareness and create, organize screening camps, or they can bring people to the screening camps and get the screening done.
Exactly.
There is a lot of opportunity, for everyone. Thank you for your value addition for this talk.
I'm very grateful, sir, for giving me the opportunity and time to say something. I wish you the best, sir, and the best of all days.
Thank you. Any others would like to share your feedback or comments, not only on this presentation, but on earlier presentations also fine. As I don't see any other presentations, we can close this. If you have any feedback, queries, feel free to ask. No? Okay, if there are no further queries, then we can close this session for the day. As you are also seeing, as we are also seeing, there are a lot of registrations for presentations, but unfortunately, most of them are not turning up. Anyway, we can do one thing is there are still more 25% of the registrations where we have not scheduled because of the time constraints. We will anyway tomorrow or today or tomorrow, we will try to schedule them also in the coming days. But you can ignore the schedule because if the trend continues, then there is no point of having the schedule. So anyway, we will, whoever would like to make presentations, you can join and make a request. We will see first call for all the scheduled names for presentations. If they are available, we will take it up. Otherwise, we'll continue with whoever is available. So let's not waste any time. on that. And let's not, lose the opportunities. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll do both we'll take it in both the ways. So we request everyone to inform your friends also, those who have not registered. Or if you also want to make any presentations, you can share. Don't need to worry about the timings. You can join and see if there is time available like this. See, today we have so many presenters, but they could not turn up. So in a similar way, if you get opportunity, you can make presentations, and kindly do not wait till 26th. 26th, we will not, we are planning not to take any presentations on 26th. We'll have some invited guests on that day. So whatever presentations are available, even if they are scheduled on 25th, if possible, you try to complete it at the earliest, even if possible today, tomorrow also. Don't wait till that time, because there are many presenters who are being left out. So if they join at later time, they will not be able to present. So let's cooperate with each other and pull out some time for future presentations. So as far
Ravindra sir, I have a query, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please. Please go ahead.
Sir, the ones who presented, can they do another presentation on a different topic?
Yeah. There is no limit of on number of presentations. You can also do on any other topic if you are interested. You need to register again, because the certificate generation is automatic. The system itself generates, so we will not manually enter anything. So make sure you are entering your details correctly.
Okay, sir.
Then you can make presentations. Now that we have opportunity, time available, you can utilize this.
Sir.
There is no restriction as such.
Sure.
You can
Thank you so
inform
much.
your colleagues also if they are interested.
Okay, sir.
They can also join.
Sure, sir. I will do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and don't worry about the timings, seeing at the long schedule. If speakers are available, we'll take it up. Otherwise, whoever is available, we will do it. No problem.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes.
And all the certificates will be issued after the conference. In the valedictory session, we'll be sharing the feedback form. Once you fill the feedback form, be careful while filling the feedback form. Once you fill up the feedback form,
yes, sir, I got that.
Yeah, the certificates will be generated. For all the presenters and participants also, the same procedure will go. So no need to worry about the certificates. Anyone else have any queries? Feel free to discuss now. While sessions are going on, you can restrict your queries, comments, clarifications to the session. At the end of the session, we can have any discussion, any clarification. And
Sir,
yeah.
hello, sir. I can speak with Hindi. Actually, I am not comfortable in English. I can speak.
Yeah, I mean, see, we have participants from across the globe. So it's always better if you can communicate in English, because they will not be able to understand.
I understand, but actually, I could not tell. Basically, I could not tell English. But
No,
I
you can
understand
try it. See,
this.
we are here to encourage. We are not here to criticize or, we are here to encourage.
No, sir. No, sir. No.
But see, you put your best efforts
actually, we are very bad, because here is in time, so we are timely not attend time not attend your meeting. So problem this attendance.
No, attendance is, day to day. That's why earlier we had this, because multi-day conferences. Earlier we had
Yes.
this problem because of attendance, people were losing certificates because that is all done by the system. And we have
Yes, sir.
very
Yes, sir.
limited time and we cannot manually enter each and everything. So,
Yes, sir.
because
Yes, sir.
everyone has 24 hours and we all have other tasks to also to do. So what we have done is we have divided it to on a daily basis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I
whoever,
am.
even if you are attending one day, you will get
Yes.
a certificate for that day, that one day. So
Yes, sir. Yes.
that will be useful. So in similar way, we have divided the entire week's conference into daily certificates.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
if
sir.
you are attending on that day, you will get. So no need to worry about the days you are not attending.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
And
am, sir. I am West Bengal, not Chobis Pargana. Say, sir. Said, sir.
So you can try presenting. Otherwise, you can also you can use bilingual language. So wherever you are facing difficulty, you can use Hindi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
try making presentation.
Ravindra sir.
Yes, sir.
Ravindra sir.
Yes, sir.
I have the I have the problem like Viswajit Das in speaking English, but I tried 2 days, sir.
Yeah,
In
that's
first
what.
time, sir.
We are encouraging. No, we are not. This platform is to encourage
I have
only. So
yes,
don't worry
sir.
about the
But
language.
I tried 2 days, sir.
Yeah, and you have done very well. I mean, there is always
Thank you so
room
much,
for
sir.
improvement for everyone, even for me also. I can do better tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
So we all can try it. Don't worry, no one is going to, point out. We are there to help each other. So don't worry. Let's try. This platform is open for everyone. You can try combination of both also, no problem. So only
Sir,
the
you are motivating everyone, sir. You are motivating everyone. This is very nice, sir.
Yes, yes.
So nice of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else have any queries other than this?
Sir, I missed first day's program and the presentation. Is there any chance where I can get those presentation to listen?
Yeah, ma'am. All the sessions are going live on YouTube. You can visit our YouTube channel. You can open YouTube and you can type WSWD 2024. That is channel name. Even the channel link also is available on the website and the message shared to you, and even in the registration message you have. So you can go there and you can see all the recordings from day 1, day 2, even today's also. It is live on YouTube now, whatever is happening. You can go there and watch the videos. So you can share this same to your university also as a proof of, presentation.
Sure.
So no need to worry about that.
Thank you so much. Sure. Yes.
So if there are no further queries, we'll close it for the day. And whoever is presenting in the coming days, kindly check the schedule. Even if your presentation is not listed, no need to worry. Just join conference and make a request. And while requesting, kindly share your topic, name, designation, organization, and the place from where you are coming, so that we can introduce you and we also can make a note of it. And As you are introducing yourself, you can briefly introduce and start your presentation. And the feedback form has been shared already in the Zoom platform. So the registration for the day and for the feedback, same for the sake of certificates. No need to register again in the Google form. Google form is only for once for the entire conference. For one activity, you can use once, or if you are having more activities also, you can use the same form and mention if you have already registered for one activity, say presentation, participation, or quiz. Quiz is also there. Social work day quiz is there. And that we also will share. We thought we will be sharing on 26th, the last day. And we will also give some special merit certificates, those who score the top 3 scores. So that's why we are waiting it. We will do it in the last day. So that also you will get additional certificates. So don't miss that quiz certificate also. We'll see how we can do in another 2-3 days. We'll give the quiz link where you can attempt the quiz, and accordingly you will get an additional certificate for quiz also. And not only the just academic activities. After these sessions, we are also planning to have cultural thing also, like we do offline events. We have at the end of the day some cultural activities. We always wanted, but unfortunately, the timing, the sessions goes too long, so we are not able to take it up. But now we see, we have some time left on each day. We can have, if anyone wants to perform any cultural activity, like good, not kind of mass songs or dance like that, but any decent or, traditional or any good decent things. If you want to take up any cultural activities like singing or dancing, you can perform it. For that also we'll give you additional certificate that you have performed any cultural activity. So that will also, give us some edutainment, entertainment as well as education on particular things. So explore yourself. And still we have total 8 days are there. So still we have 5 more days. You explore into various domains also. We have a lot of domains where we can still work on it. And tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we have a lot of commemorations coming up, like Meteorological Day and various others day. We'll also try to invite speakers from respective departments. And we'll also, you can explore on those areas also, on climate and weather and climate change, mitigation, and various such aspects. So thank you everyone once again for joining us on the 3rd day. So let's continue to join and contribute. Share the link with your friends so that they can also utilize this wonderful opportunity. Before leaving, make sure you are filling up the feedback form. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same link at 6 o'clock. Take care. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.